On her 35th birthday, my wife Elise sat across from me at our polished oak dining table, her eyes glinting with a strange restless fire as she whispered, "I want more freedom." The words sliced through the candlelit air, sharp as the knife she'd used to cut her chocolate cake moments before. My fork froze mid-bite, the rich frosting turning bitter on my tongue. Freedom? The room, warm with the scent of vanilla and wax, felt suddenly claustrophobic, the walls pressing in as her request echoed in my skull. I forced a smile, my heart thudding like a trapped animal, and asked, "What kind of freedom, love?" Her gaze flickered to the window, where rain streaked the glass like tears, and she said nothing. That night, as Elise slept, her breath soft and even, I lay awake, the weight of her words crushing my chest. Our marriage had been a quiet dance, comfortable, predictable, a rhythm of shared coffee mornings and late-night TV. But lately, her silences had grown heavier, her smiles less frequent. I'd noticed the small things. Her phone screen dimming the moment I entered the room, her late nights at the office, her new perfume that smelled like someone else's choice. I told myself it was nothing, stress maybe, or the monotony of 10 years together. But her birthday wish, that single word, freedom, gnawed at me, a splinter in my mind. The next morning I found her phone on the kitchen counter, its screen unlocked, a rare oversight. My fingers hovered, guilt prickling my skin like static. This wasn't me snooping, doubting. But the pull was too strong, a current dragging me under. I opened her messages, my pulse hammering in my ears. A name I didn't recognize. Evan. The texts were brief but intimate, a shorthand of familiarity that made my stomach lurch. "Miss you already," one read, time-stamped last night after our dinner. Another, "Can't wait for Thursday." My vision blurred, the words swimming like fish in a murky tank. I set the phone down, my hands trembling, and stood frozen as the coffee maker hissed and sputtered behind me. At work I was useless, my mind replaying every moment of the past months. The way Elise laughed too loudly at her colleagues' jokes at the company picnic. The new silk scarf she'd worn, a gift she claimed was from her sister, though I'd never seen her sister give anything so extravagant. I tried to rationalize it. Evan could be a friend, a coworker, a misunderstanding. But the ache in my gut told a different story. I Googled his name, cross-referencing her company's website. Evan Caldwell, marketing director. Handsome, sharp-eyed. The kind of man who wore confidence like a tailored suit. My throat tightened as I imagined him with her, their hands brushing, their secrets shared in stolen moments. That evening I cooked dinner, her favorite lemon herb chicken, the kitchen filling with the bright, tangy scent. I wanted to confront her, to demand answers, but fear held me back. What if I was wrong? What if I broke us for nothing? When she came home, her hair damp from the rain, she kissed my cheek, her lips cool and fleeting. "Smells amazing," she said, her voice light but distant, like a radio signal fading. Over dinner I tested the waters. "How's work?" I asked, my tone casual though my heart raced. She shrugged, twirling her fork. "Busy. You know how it is." Her eyes didn't meet mine, and the silence that followed was thick, suffocating. Thursday came, the day from Evan's text. Elise said she had a late meeting, her voice smooth as she kissed me goodbye. I waited 10 minutes, then followed her, my car trailing hers through the city's neon-lit streets. Shame burned in my chest, but suspicion burned hotter. She didn't go to her office. Instead, she parked outside a sleek downtown bar, its windows glowing amber. I watched from across the street, rain blurring my windshield as she stepped inside, her red coat a vivid slash against the gray evening. Minutes later, a man, Evan, unmistakable from his photo, joined her. They sat close, her hand on his arm, their laughter carrying through the open door. My world tilted. I wanted to storm in, to scream, to shatter their cozy scene, but my body wouldn't move. Instead, I drove home, the city lights streaking like comets in my vision. In our bedroom I found her journal, tucked beneath her sweaters. I hadn't known she kept one. The pages were filled with her neat handwriting, confessions spilling out like blood from a wound. She loved Evan. She felt alive with him, free in a way she hadn't with me in years. But she loved me too, she wrote, and the guilt was tearing her apart. Each word was a blade, carving away the life I thought we had. I didn't confront her that night. Instead, I spent hours drafting a divorce contract, my hands shaking as I typed. It was cold, legal, final, a gift of the freedom she'd asked for. When she came home, smelling faintly of whiskey and his cologne, I handed it to her without a word. Her face crumpled, confusion giving way to horror as she read. "What is this?" she whispered, her voice breaking. "You asked for freedom," I said, my own voice raw, barely audible. "I saw you with him, Elise." "I know." She sank to the floor, sobbing, her excuses tumbling out. How it started as a flirtation, how she never meant to hurt me, how she was torn between two lives. I wanted to hate her, to walk away, but her tears mirrored mine and I saw the truth. We were both broken, both betrayed by the life we'd built. As she reached for my hand, I pulled back, unsure if I could ever touch her again. But in that moment, I realized the real betrayal wasn't just her affair. It was the silence we'd let grow between us, the love we'd stopped fighting for. And as she begged me to stay, I wondered if freedom was what either of us truly wanted.